There it is. Yeah, I see something
Okay,
pop up right now.
actually pulling this off. That's good.
Yep,
Um,
there it is. Awesome.
well,
Well,
thank
Jeff, I'm gonna let you go for it. I'm gonna jump off the screen now.
Cool. Thank you, man. Well, yeah, again, thank you for the opportunity to give my presentation here. My name is Jeff Walton. I'm the executive director of Terra Vida Academy. We're located out here in the Oregon Coast Range in Oregon. Um, Terra Vida Academy, our whole mission is that we provide training to people who want to learn to live more sustainably, um, and at the same time become more independent. And our three pillars of Terra, we refer to TVA for short, but TVA are we. My passion is building tiny homes or tiny ADUs. We and we do focus on tiny ADUs now. We are going to begin building. We have built quite a few tiny homes on wheels in the past. Right now, we're focusing on the ultra tiny home or ADU, which is a really big deal in the Portland, Oregon market. And then our other two pillars are food forestry, agroforestry, and then we do yoga and meditation as well. And the reason we focus on those three is due to the climate crisis. We believe that's what we can do to have the largest and fastest impact on climate change right now. Um, Prior to becoming Terra Vida Academy, we actually bought this property about 13 years ago, um, and uh, it converted to a private park, and we did all kinds of things out here. We did mountain bike racing, we did yoga retreats, we done weddings, on and on. And what we decided 2 years ago was we were going to really give all our effort to the climate change and go back to our roots and launch Terra Vida Academy. And that's what we've been doing ever since. Um, and moving right into what we do, Terra Vida Academy really we're a group of gifted teachers that come together to teach multiple different kinds of classes out here. Um, and more than anything, we teach skill building in general to, again, teach people how to live more sustainably and to become more independent. And then take that knowledge that they learn here and take it back to their communities. Um, and as I mentioned, tiny building is really, that's my passion. That's really our probably the biggest segment of what we address. And then within that, within the tiny home building or tiny ADU building, we go at it in two different directions. One is conventional sustainable, meaning we really look at the components of how we're building. And then the other one is we do all natural building. And in particular, in that vein, we do have a straw bale lodge out here that we built as part of a strawbale.com workshop about 8 years ago. It's an amazing building. Um, and by the way, if you go to terravitaacademy.com and you look through the website, you will find a link to Vernonia Springs, which is our eco campus. That's where all our classes take place. We focus primarily um, uh, on-site training where you're actually here. That's part of the experience you get. You get to stay the night. You have really good food. We have a licensed food cart. We have yurts and platform tents that are the whole glamping model, which are really cool and phenomenal. Um, but again, we focus on the building, the yoga, and then the agroforestry, food forest design and implementation. Uh, and I kind of already covered quite a bit of that, but it's again, our niche is more in person, on site, as opposed to online. We will be offering some online training, but we believe that we need to get more people out into nature. We believe that that's part of the challenge we face is that there is a rather large disconnect between humans and the natural environment. And if we can, bridge that gap, we're hoping that people will be able to, want to protect the environment more. And so that's why we bring people here. The Vernonia Springs Eco Campus is a beautiful, phenomenal location. We were very fortunate to be able to spend most of our time out here. And we're constantly doing all kinds of crazy projects out here. Before I came in for the meeting now, we're actually building a caretaker tiny home. It's really amazing little building. I think I have a photo of it coming up here. Moving on. So here are a few images of the Vernonia Springs Eco Campus. The upper left photo is of one of our platform tents, and then the lower photo is of a yurt, and then you have the pavilion. The pavilion with the lights on in that image is where we do the actual building of the tiny homes out on the patio. We can roll them in and out depending on weather. If it's good weather, we're out on the patio enjoying the sunshine, hopefully. And then the upper right corner, that's the straw bale lodge that I mentioned. And then the middle photo is of the straw bale lodge in the pond. When we bought the property back 13 years ago, it had been a functioning catch trout farm. So it's really just a beautiful pond that we no longer do that, and we're restoring. We're doing a restoration project on it right now. And we're also situated along the banks for Vernonia State Trails. So the bike trail runs right through the middle of our property, and it's a rails to trails bike trail. It's one of the top rails to trails bike trails in America. It's been rated by multiple organizations as such. And it's 21 miles paved. You can ride it from Banks, Oregon, into our little town of Vernonia, which is a real tiny community of about 2,200 people. And then on the property, as I mentioned, we are considered a private park and campground. We provide food in our licensed food card and all the other amenities that I mentioned. So why do you want to learn how to build a tiny home? I think probably the audience I have here is fairly sophisticated, knows a little bit about it, but I think I need to move my screen here. There we go. Number one, what we teach you, we typically run a 4-day class. And if you go to terravidacademy.com, you can go to the courses and you'll find our first upcoming DIY tiny home building class. But I think a really important element of what we teach is that you'll not only be able to, when you're done at that 4-day period of time, you'll not only know how to go build your own tiny, home or ADU. You're going to have skills that you're going to be able to take with you for the rest of your life. We're really focused on making sure that not only is it going to be hugely beneficial for building your own tiny, but you're going to have the skills to carry with you for the remainder of your life, which is nothing but a good thing. Another obvious one of building tiny is that you're going to reduce your impact on the earth. And about half of the natural resources we consume on Earth are to build buildings. And obviously, if you build a tiny home, you're reducing that impact pretty dramatically. And not to mention, you're cutting your utility costs and carbon footprint immensely. So that's a huge benefit too. We're going to teach you how to build the right way. And by that, I mean, you're going to eliminate a lot of waste of time. Anyone who's ever tried to undertake building pretty much anything, if you haven't done it before, just inevitably there's a lot of learning curve, and you're gonna buy the wrong materials. Maybe you won't. Maybe you're exceptional, but I know I sure did when I began. We're going to eliminate all of that for you. We're going to tell you, or at least show you and give you options of how to build to eliminate that. That's incredibly valuable. We're going to show you what materials we recommend so that you can have the lowest impact on the earth in terms of your energy efficiency, in terms of biodegradability, recyclability, all that kind of thing. when you're done building a tiny home that we show you how to build, for the most part, about 99% of what you have built with, if taken apart, could be recycled. And it's really important to us that we minimize, we don't want things going into the landfill. And if you can recycle, that's obviously a much better alternative. Um, the way we order, again, if you do this enough, you begin to figure out that there is a smart way to order and a not so smart way to order. And just ordering what you really need is a really big deal. If you're running back, a lot of people that we deal with, because Portland's a really big ADU market. So a lot of people we deal with, live in town, in urban environment, and they may not have a vehicle to go get materials and that kind of thing. So if you miss order materials, it's a really big waste of time, and you may not be able to get it anyway. With our ordering process, one, you can get the your local building material company or retailer to deliver to you. So you may be able to eliminate all that anyway, hopefully. And if you're anywhere near a Lowe's or a Home Depot, you not only will get an ordering discount because of the arrangement we have, but you'll benefit just from buying the materials you actually need at the lowest cost possible. After you're done with the training, a lot of anyone who's done any building training is a lot of the times it's a dilemma, and I've done them all. I've done every imaginable natural building. I've done tiny home workshops, this, that. What happens a lot of time is you leave the workshop and you might be overwhelmed and you may not know how to get going. That's not unusual. One, we like to think that you're not going to be overwhelmed when you leave. That's our goal. However, inevitably, you're going to get home and you're going to have a question. Well, you shouldn't have to go back to the organization that taught you and feel like you have to give them money for an hour of their time or anything like that. We'll give you access to a builders group where you'll be able to ask unlimited questions, and we'll get one of our teachers will get back to you within 24 hours. So we want you to go build, and we're going to actively support that so that we can make that happen. And then, the whole time you're here, you're going to generally, I'll tell you what, we are very fortunate and we tend to attract really cool people. So the whole period of time you're here, you're going to be hanging out with generally very cool people. And when you leave, you'll be, oftentimes you will continue on or have a relationship with them, either through the group, the Facebook group where we support, or oftentimes people in the group will get together and help each other build their projects, which is really a great benefit. And then last but not least, you'll have a lot of fun here. Again, it's a beautiful environment. You'll have really comfortable accommodations and good food and that kind of thing. And how much time do I have here? So I'm doing really good on time. Here are a few images of what we do, kind of from beginning to end. Actually, the unit I'm working on right now is on the left side of your screen. That's the interior design. And then the middle one is how it will actually look. And then the one on the right is actually a different unit. The one on the right is what we typically build during the class. It's a really efficient, low maintenance unit that's just absolutely bulletproof. And we show you from beginning to end how to, for the most part, we will build that in its entirety in a 4-day class. So you really get a true look at how it will look. And then real quick, I'm not gonna spend too much time on the outline of the course, but this is what we would cover in it. A big one that I think kind of gets overlooked a little bit is that, especially if you're in an urban environment, for example, in the city of Portland, you're actually allowed to build a building under 200 square feet without a permit. Now, there are caveats to that, and I don't want to over promote that, but you are able to do that. It's just what you do after you build the building, et cetera, and what you can do. But a big part of being able to build tiny and why it's strategic if you're actually doing a building on a foundation is that we believe and we show you how to do a pier foundation. And a peer foundation is something that's perfectly legal. And if you do go all the way and get it permitted, you just like anything would have it engineered, but it's something you can do on your own. Whereas if you get into doing, pouring a pad, a monoform foundation or with stem walls, that kind of thing, they're all different kinds of options, of course. But a pier foundation allows you to use limited materials. It allows you to literally set a tiny home building. And again, keep in mind, I'm not talking about a tiny home on wheels, but you can build it right on those piers, and then you're off the ground. So it's a lot of people are unaware that you can do that. It's really a strategic way to build, and it minimizes inputs, and you can do it on your own. We show you how to do that, and we have examples out here of how you do that. Design and plans, we show you how to look at those and how to understand them. We actually have a designer, a local designer out here in Vernonia that we work with that is really reasonable, and frankly does design at a ridiculous rate, and will take designs that we already have and can tweak them for a much lower um, fee than most people can do. The other thing too that we do is the unit we show you how to build. There's been a lot of thought put into it in that we intentionally build a small unit while you're here because we want you to see it from beginning to end. However, you can easily expand it width or length by moving it in 2 foot increments. So if you want to get your own design tweaked off of the one that we're going to show you, it's a much lower cost and it's very efficient from a material use standpoint. Then we talked to you about city planning department, what you have to think about with that. We give you demos before we even get going on anything. We show you the tools that you're going to need. We feel like we have some really strategic ideas on how to minimize the tools that you need, yet do it professionally. And then we show you options on where you can get those as well, if you don't have them. And we show you the whole floor system. We build that very quickly in one day. We show you all the framing and insulation, subfloor. We go into wall framing, how you determined your, stud layout. We use advanced framing methodology, which means you can minimize the amount of wood inputs you can put into it. We do multiple, you know, we do a zip system for wall sheathing. Although we do wrap as well, and we're kind of debating which direction we're going to go with it in the future. They're both great, but they both have pros and cons. And then on the roofing, we cover both the sheathing, the framing, and the type of roofing material. We tend to go with metal. It's just kind of a no-brainer in my mind, but I do realize there are people that will do more conventional. Then windows, doors, siding, we show you how to do all of that. Again, we really focus on metal, but we do lap as well. And we have examples of all of it all over the property that you can look at. And we do have examples of natural building as well, not only the straw bale, but we do have hempcrete, what we refer to as a hemp pod. You can take a look, go in those and take a look at those. I'm going to really blow through here. Plumbing and electrical, we show you that. We have what we call our magic wall, which is essentially a wall that you can look at and it has plumbing and electrical in it. And then we can cover each component of it with you. And after class, you're able to really get down the nitty gritty and look at it. and write down any questions you have, and we address them the following day. We go into installation, we go into the interior build out, tongue and groove, drywall. We get into lime plaster over drywall. We build our own cabinets out here using 3/4 inch soy-based plywood, which is biodegradable. They're incredible cabinets. We show you what those look like. And then, I kind of got ahead of it with the magic wall, but that's pretty much it. I'll open it up for Q&A. I know I cut it a little bit close, but fire away. Hello? Are you with me?
Yeah, we're still here. Do you see the chat there, Jeff?
Oh, I don't. What do I need to do that? Um, shoot, I'm
Let's
not
see
seeing it.
if you stop sharing your screen, then you should be able to jump in there. But
Okay, here we go. I'm rolling. Okay.
cool. Yeah, so there they are. Somebody asked, "Is your class schedule on the website yet?"
Yes. Yeah. If you go to terravitaacademy.com and go to courses, you'll have a full description of it. And it goes into great detail.
Cool, cool. And what type of like peers or post kind of setups do you do for some of your structures that aren't
One
on?
more time.
What type of peer setup do you use, or like the pilings and whatnot? What do you generally use for your tiny homes that aren't on an actual foundation, but you're supporting them with some?
Yeah. So we build them on 4 by either, you know, uh, we use concrete piers. If we're pouring concrete, we're going to, pour anything from a 12 to 18-inch pier. Or we build everything out here on a pressure treated skid, which is a 4x6 skid. That way, we're able to move them all around the property. We have special wheels that we put underneath, and then we can load them onto a trailer and move them out as well. So that's what we recommend. But if
I'm back again. It looks like his internet must have cut out or something. If he's frozen for all of you guys as well, but maybe he'll jump back in here and he'll hopefully be able to finish up his kind of Q&A section here. And if not, well, then maybe we'll do a workshop or something with him in the future. But pretty cool to kind of see the different ways that he's taking and his approach on it and whatnot. It's really cool to see that. So yeah, if you have any specific questions, you can go ahead and drop them in the questions here. Megan, you asked sonotubes. I don't think I'm familiar with sonotubes. I'm gonna look it up real quick. I know sono.
okay, am I back?
Oh yeah, Jeff, you're back.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, but I don't know what happened. Really weird.
No worries, no worries.
I think I'm probably. Do you have any more questions for me?
Somebody was asking if you use sonotubes for your concrete.
We do. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep. That's how we do that.
Okay, cool, cool. Awesome. And then somebody said that they weren't able to access your website, but maybe you could type it into the comments there and you could just drop in your actual website link there and then direct people there.
Okay.
Or I can do that in a few minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what happened on that, but If you could, that'd be great. It's terravidaacademy.com, and it's TerraVida academy.com.
Okay, let's see here.
Oh, wait, here we go. I'm typing it in.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And somebody asked if you felt self-finished homes, but I don't think
We're looking at that in the future because tend to end up with more than we need. Um, but we're really focused on the ultra tiny, and then showing people how to, um, do it on their own is really the direction we're thinking about it potentially in the future. Yeah.
okay. Cool, cool. Awesome. Well, Jeff, really appreciate your time and jumping on here and sharing your wealth of knowledge and kind of giving an oversight of what your class will be too. So if anybody wants, you guys should definitely check out his website and go visit and sign up for his classes. I think it'll be super impactful. If you're looking to do your own DIY tiny house, it'll more than definitely be worth it. It'll speed up your entire process. Like we're learning, DIY just takes time, and the faster you can learn a lot of that stuff and learn from experts, people who've done it a lot, it'll speed you up a lot of time. So, Jeff, we really, really appreciate it, and thank you so much for sharing everything today.
Thank you. Really appreciate the opportunity. Have a good one, you guys.
Absolutely, and we'll be in touch.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yep. All right, take care.